Thief of Hearts is pretty interesting. This was released in 1984. It's written and directed by Douglas Day Stewart, and we have a cast including Stephen Bauer, Barbara Williams, John Getz, David Caruso, Alan North, Christine Ebersole, and George Wendt. It's because of George Wendt that this film came on my radar, and I read the description and thought, I don't know if this is going to be for me. But actually, it was. That's not to say I absolutely loved every second of it, but I was kind of keen to see what we'd find out, because it's about burglars who rob this couple's house, and they happen to steal the woman's diary. They steal Mickey's diary. And we also know that Mickey and her husband Ray are not necessarily having the most affectionate, loving relationship. And obviously the burglars don't know this, but Scott decides to read the diary and use it to his advantage to seduce Mickey. And that unlocked a new fear in me. Because if somebody were to read my diary, yeah, they'd find out my wishes and my desires and things that I'm unhappy with, and they could use that to manipulate the situation. And that's genuinely a terrifying thought. And I was keen to see what would happen and how he would use this information in her diary, and whether or not, of course, she'd find out. Obviously, she doesn't know that he was the burglar, and it's an interesting concept, and I was keen to see what would happen. And generally speaking, I'd say it was fairly well executed. It's maybe not the most engaging all of the way throughout, but there's enough there in general to keep me interested. The characters are interesting, the performances are good. George Wendt was in it a little bit, which made me happy. So I was rather happy with it. As I said, when I read the brief description, I wasn't sure if it was going to appeal to me, if it would be my kind of film. But having watched it, I can confirm that, yeah, it's not bad. It's a decent narrative, well executed, well-written characters, great performances. Not too bad at all. If it sounds like something you'd be interested in, or if you've maybe considered watching it and haven't got around to it, I'd say give it a go. Thief of Hearts is not a bad film, and ultimately one that I am happy to recommend.